Hi, my name is Dave Cartenuto, and I am the president of the Rotary Club of the Tarrytowns. We are about to run our major fundraising event, a wine and jazz, at Abigail Kirsch, and you'll be hearing details about that. Our honoree this year is the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Tarrytown. And with me today are Dr. Joseph Gosilo, who's a member of the Rotary Club of the Tarrytowns. He's been a past president, and he's been very active in organizing this event since we first ran it. Also with me today is our honoree this year, Tom Conklin. Tom is the president and CEO of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which, as many of you know, is located here in Tarrytown. I'd like to speak a little bit about Rotary International and the work of Rotary International and where the Rotary Club of the Tarrytowns fits in and what we do. Rotary International, as represented by our symbol here, is an international organization, as its name implies. Rotary is organized into individual districts, and in the case of our club, we are a member of District 7230, which has about 30 clubs in it, representing Lower Westchester and all the way down to Manhattan and Staten Island. Our club is principally occupied in fundraising for the local level. If many of you are like me, when you travel around the countryside, maybe you always wondered what it meant when you saw that sign as you entered a new community, which said Rotary Club meets at such and such a time on such and such a day in such and such a place. As you come into Tarrytown, what you'll see is a sign that says Rotary meets at the Marriott at 12:15 on Wednesdays, and that is the time when our club gets together. In those meetings, we talk about our work principally being to raise money for use at the local level. Our events, principally the wine and jazz, which you'll hear about, and our duck derby, which is coming up at the end of April this year, it's the last Saturday in April as a matter of fact, raise money which we then turn right back to the community, to various organizations. In the case of Tarrytown and Sleepy Hollow and Irvington, which are the three villages that our club's members come from, we spend that money by donating it according to requests that come to us from the various service organizations within the community. Those include the YMCA, the public schools of the Tarrytowns, organizations like the Life Center in Sleepy Hollow, the RSHM Life Center, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the food pantry, and so on. So we spend our money basically among the organizations which apply. And typically, the number of requests we get is between 20 and 25. We then decide, based on the funds that are available to us from our fundraising, how much each organization will get. And we also take into consideration what they requested. So the principal purpose of the Rotary Club of the Tarrytowns is to provide a setting where our people can get together, our members, and we can make decisions about exactly how we can best serve the community. Many of you may know that the motto of Rotary International is service above self. Rotary has existed since the very early 1900s, and clubs at the local level have been established basically at varying times since then. The Rotary Club of the Tarrytowns has existed for some 90 years. So I would like to talk first about our principal fundraiser, and with that I will pass the baton to Dr. Joseph Gosilo, again, as I said, a longtime member of the Rotary Club and one of the principal organizers of the Wine and Jazz. Joe?
Thank you, Dave. This year is actually our 20th year that we're doing a wine and jazz evening. It's taken on many different versions over the years, but we've settled in on a great location. We have it at Tappan Hill. Great ambiance and great food from Abigail Kirsch. We have great wines, great selection of wines that are provided from Grape Expectations right here in Tarrytown. Many different wines to sample, whites, reds, dessert wines, champagnes, sparkling wines. It's a great variety. And to complement that wine and food, we have some great jazz from Mark Morganelli and his Jazz Forum All-Stars, often seen locally in locations around town, as well as Tarrytown Music Hall. So all of that taken together, we have some other fun options to partake with a silent auction with some very, very nice items, some beautiful jewelry from Olson & Sons Jewelers, and we also have a 50-50 raffle, which makes it kind of exciting to keep people going for the entire evening. So the money that we raise, as you've alluded to, go to many of the local community organizations that we support. People can, if they're interested in coming, the date is Monday, March the 11th, begins at 6:30 p.m. sharp. Tickets can be had from any Rotarian that you might know. You can also purchase tickets at Great Expectations. He has quite a few tickets there. And if it's difficult for you to get around, you can just go onto our website, www.tarrytownrotary.org, and you can click on the page for the Wine and Jazz evening and purchase tickets through your credit card, get some miles, get some points, and support a good cause. It's a great evening. We've had great success with it, and it's enjoyed by many. This year, we're very proud and very happy that we can honor the Make-A-Wish Foundation, who does spectacular things and has a great reputation. And with that, I think Tom would like to elaborate on that.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. It's great to be here with you today. And on behalf of everybody at Make-A-Wish, thank you for selecting us to be honored at this great event. We're looking forward to it. Both of you guys know the mission of Make-A-Wish is to grant the wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions to enrich the human experience with hope, strength, and joy. And basically, people have to remember I said life-threatening. There are some people who still believe that it's only for terminally ill children. With the medical technology being what it is today, a lot of our children do survive, and there's great stories there. But having said that, around 33 years ago, there was a boy in Phoenix, Arizona by the name of Christopher James Gracious. He was 7 years old, and he was suffering from leukemia, and the outlook was not good. Some of his neighbors got together, and they found that his wish was to be a highway patrol motorcycle officer when he grew up. And he decided to, in the midst of all the treatments and doctor's appointments, to give him a day where he could be an Arizona State Trooper for a day. So a special uniform was made for him. He actually had a badge, a real-life badge. He was sworn in. He went down to headquarters. He rode in a squad car, in a motorcycle and a helicopter. And for that day, he was an Arizona State Trooper. He said at the end of the day, how do I get my wings that the motorcycle guys get? And they said, well, Chris, you have to go through some tests. So what they did is they set up cones in a parking lot, and he had a bicycle that was like a motorcycle, and he navigated through all the cones, and they said, congratulations, you passed. We will go ahead and have your wings made custom for you. Unfortunately, shortly after that, he took a turn for the worse and was in the hospital. And the Arizona State Trooper that was a key part of that group that granted that wish that day visited him in the hospital to pin those wings on his uniform. Chris at that time was in a coma and literally woke up as Frank Shankowitz, that Arizona State Trooper, was pinning on those wings. And Chris said to him, am I for real now? He said, yes, you are. You have your wings. He died shortly thereafter and buried back in a family plot in Chicago, and two of the Arizona State Troopers went to be part of his funeral. He was buried in his uniform. And on his gravestone it says, Christopher James Gracious, Arizona State Trooper. After that, the people who were involved in that sat around and said, you know, if we brought some hope and strength and joy to this young man, possibly there's others out there we can reach out to. And that's how Make-A-Wish started. And it was really a grassroots organization and has continued to be that. But having said that, it really struck a responsive chord in communities around the world. So now there are 62 chapters in the United States, 34 international chapters. And since that first wish, over 250,000 wishes have been granted, and it all started with that one young boy. We are the Hudson Valley chapter, which our headquarters are here in Tarrytown, and we cover the Hudson Valley, 8 counties in this region. And right now we're working on 143 wishes for kids facing life-threatening medical conditions. And basically an average wish costs us anywhere from $7,500 to $10,000, depending upon the wish. So having a group like you guys step up to help us is really terrific. We do not get any government money. We do not do telephone solicitations. We really count on people who know our mission and who are loyal to that mission. So what you guys are doing for us that night is terrific. And any of you in the community who are thinking about, you know, how would I spend a good night and do some good at the same time, I encourage them to think of supporting this event that night, because not only will you have a good time with some good wine and cheese and jazz, but you'll be helping grant some wishes to some kids who could really use it. And in this economy, right now, wish parents don't care about the economy. They want their children to get better and to be happy. In the midst of what they're going through health-wise, we are the oasis in the middle of that desert. but we can't do it without the help of you people, so we really appreciate that. And I'll share one wish story that I did share when I came to your meeting. I think that the people enjoyed that. It was about a year and a half ago where a young boy over in the hospital here in Westchester was diagnosed with a significant heart situation. Medications and other treatments proved to be not effective, and it looked like the end was near for this young boy. We got a call at the Wish House saying he probably has a couple of days. Can you send some wish granters over, and maybe we can do something to bring some joy in the last couple of days that this young man has. In the middle of that conversation, the doctor came in and said, you have to stop the dialogue. We found a heart, and he'll be in surgery tonight at 7 o'clock. Well, I'm pleased to say the young boy did survive. He got his heart. He's doing well. And initially, he thought his wish, he wanted to meet the New York Football Giants. But afterwards, he decided, I think I'm going to think bigger about this. And he said, I want to go to the Super Bowl. So just a few weeks ago, we had a send-off party right here in Sleepy Hollow at J.P. Doyle's in Sleepy Hollow, presented with tickets to the Super Bowl, and Miles and his family traveled to New Orleans to see the Super Bowl this year. This is a young man who's now back in college, doing well. And in fact, he volunteers at the Ronald McDonald House and does laundry for the people staying there, and volunteers at the hospital, and reads books to kids. And right now, he's just grateful to be alive and blessed. That's the kind of magic we're allowed to do, but we can't do it without the help of the community. So what you guys are doing for us is really terrific, and it helps us to grant those wishes. And as I said, with 143 pending wishes, it's a tall order for us right now, but we'll grant them.
Well, thank you very much, Tom. Tom has hit on a couple of points which are very significant to what Rotary does. You can imagine that as we try to make decisions as to which requests we're going to honor, we have to balance between the funds available and the amount that was requested, and we're very happy to be able to grant as much of the amount requested as we possibly can. You may or may not be aware that one of the other things we do, because our money does come into us and we are part of an international organization, is we also try to give grants to worthy international organizations. Rotary International has been engaged in a polio eradication effort, and that has been widely successful. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is also working toward that same objective, which is the ultimate eradication of polio around the world. And the part of the funds that our members contribute each year go to that effort. The local club has also funded some international projects. For example, a couple of years ago, we received a request from Shelterbox, which provide self-contained living units which go to various foreign countries and help local people in disasters, such as in Haiti. In our case, the Shelterbox that we provided went to the Philippines following some very heavy flooding there. We also have helped in water projects. Rotary International places a priority on giving pure, clean water to people who do not have it. In the case of our local club, we gave a grant to a Peace Corps volunteer working in a particular area of the Dominican Republic where they rely on aqueducts. And if you see the way these aqueducts are made, they're fairly flimsy. And if anything happens, they break and they have to be repaired. And we coordinated with a local Rotary Club in the Dominican Republic and provided funds to help that project. So those are just a few of the examples. Another thing that our club does is we have a thing called a Breitbarth Scholarship. That's the result of a generosity of a former member, Dr. Breitbarth, who lived here locally, and he made a certain amount available, which we now award in the form of $1,500 scholarships to 6 or 7 students from either Irvington, Sleepy Hollow, or Tarrytown. And we base those awards on the service which those children have provided within the community. So those are the so-called Breitbarth scholarships. So as Tom alluded to, we do provide organizations that are local with substantial help. It may seem insignificant in certain dollar amounts, but it does make them able to meet certain needs. Joe, would you like to talk about the importance of the wine and jazz in that scheme?
Yes, the Wine and Jazz provides at least half of the money that we're able to provide each year to local organizations and any other charities that we support during the year, including the other scholarships that we do. So the Wine and Jazz, again, I'll make another pitch, is Monday, March the 11th, 6:30 at Tappan Hill. And tickets are $65 per person. It includes all the wine you can taste. It includes some delicious food, past hors d'oeuvres, as well as a buffet dinner, and the chance to enjoy the music of Mark Morganelli and his All-Stars. If you can't get the tickets ahead of time, there's $75 at the door, but we've provided enough ways between Great Expectations, any Rotarian you might know, and going on our website to purchase those tickets, so you can save that $10. It's a great event, great value. We're all look forward to it. The community looks forward to it. We have many repeat customers that come back each year, and then they enjoy it. And we'd be happy to welcome more and more each year. It's a great venue. We have lots of room for more people. So come on down and enjoy a good evening, and support lots of good causes such as Make-A-Wish.
That's terrific. Thanks, Joe.
I think there's a couple of things I'd like to share since this is really local. I mean, we're Tarrytown. Anybody that wants to get involved with Make-A-Wish, go to our website, hudson.wish.org, and you can find ways if you want to volunteer or support any of our activities. So we appreciate it. That's hudson.wish.org. And I'm always asked, what are some of the wishes that, the kids go on? And we just talked about a Super Bowl wish, but probably one of the more popular wishes are the Disney wishes. A lot of our younger Wish kids want to go to Disney, and basically it's not just here's your tickets and have a great time. We have a great partnership with the Disney organization. So if it's a Disney wish, the day that they leave for Disney, they will be picked up in a stretch limousine. They will fly down to Florida. There'll be Make-A-Wish volunteers at the airport to greet them as they get off the plane, help them get their luggage and get in their car, their rental car, and head to Give Kids the World, which was built by a Holocaust survivor, really as a facility for the kids who are sick who are going to the Disney World complex. And they will have their own villa with their name on the outside. They'll have ice cream 24/7, and the characters will tuck them in at night. When they go to the park at Disney, they will have an identifier that they're a Make-A-Wish kid. And very often they're dealing with treatments and medicines and what have you, so they can't wait on the line for 45 minutes for a ride. But that identifier puts them to the front of the line. And when they go on a ride, it's not uncommon for the Disney cast member to say, want to go again? And people will say, well, who are these people? And Disney cast members, they're very special guests of Disney today. So they get to see Disney from a whole different perspective. And when they see some of the characters, usually if you've been to Disney with some of your kids, you've got to chase the characters down. The characters will see the identifier on that young child, and the character will go over to the young child. So that experience, that time, they get to be a family again, they get to have fun again, and regardless of what their outcome is, there's a moment of hope, strength, and joy during that trip. And we also tell the families, if you go back to Disney again, you need to talk to your kids, because you're not going to be able to go to the front of the line and get the VI treatment that you got on your wish. So those are some of the wishes that we do, and thanks to your organization and this event, we'll be able to grant some more wishes.
That's great, Tom. Thank you so much. Joe, would you like to add anything else? I know that a key part of the fundraising for our Wine and Jazz event is the ads that people can take out in our journal that we publish during the event. And you will also find links to be able to do that at www.tarrytownrotary.org. I would also point out that we have a presence on Facebook. For those of you who are fans of Facebook and would like to see us that way, there's a lot of information on our website, and I would encourage you to do that. And if you like what you see, you can like us on Facebook, which helps us spread the message of Rotary, no matter where you may be. So with that, I will close. I will encourage you to get as active in local affairs as the members of our club are, and support all the wonderful organizations that exist in our community, and especially Make-A-Wish, which is our honoree this year. So thank you very, very much for taking the time to watch this program. And if you have any questions, you could always contact me or any other member of the Rotary. Thank you.